Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time, so thanks for hanging out waiting for a new Tundra video. Without any further ado, let's get right back into it. Today on Tundra Tactical, we're going to be taking a look at the problem with cheap guns. So stay tuned, thanks for watching, and let's start the show. Currently, the market is filled with a menagerie of firearms, all at different price points and quality levels. There are pros and cons to pretty much any gun you might be looking to buy. But when you're looking at an expensive gun, the problem is usually pretty singular. It's expensive, or possibly overpriced. High-priced guns are almost always built with pride and have an extremely high build quality, with attention being paid from every detail to the trigger polish to the consistency of the bluing or the Cerakote finish. It's rare that you find somebody with an expensive gun who's unhappy with their purchase. At most, they might be mad at themselves for the purchase because the gun wasn't built to the features that they prefer, and that sounds more like the consumer's fault for not doing their research. While any problems found with high-priced firearms are almost exclusively highly subjective, the problem with cheap guns are abundant. Don't get me wrong, we own plenty of cheap guns. If you dig through our catalog of firearms we have owned or currently own, you will in fact find Tauruses, Kel-Tecs, and even a singular High Point. Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
Problem the first. It should be obvious that a gun purchased for a lower price point will have a much lower build quality, with a more liberal threshold for acceptable defects by the manufacturer. Oftentimes, products are built to a price instead of being built for a purpose. This is a common practice for nearly every manufacturing industry. Case in point, my writer has an MBA. Well, guess what? This usually causes the gun to suck. And anybody who's ever held a High Point C9 and then held a SIG Legion series pistol can immediately tell which gun they would rather have without ever shooting either of them. When the only gun you've ever shot retails for less than $2, this might not be a huge problem for you, but it will only lead to more concerns from your friends and family later on down the road that are questioning your decision-making skills for later in life. No matter how happy you are with your bargain basement gun, other shooters are going to constantly talk to you, with your only viable comeback being, hey, screw you for judging me, or things like, you don't even know me, bro, and now you want to tell me my new pistol's a boat anchor? It's a terrible voice. For those of us who've shot nice guns, or expensive guns, cool guns, or even a few of the above mentioned, trash talkers will continually make you feel embarrassed to buy a cheap gun. Last time I held a C9 at the outdoor Mega Low Mart that will remain nameless, the dude behind the counter was talking trash about it the whole time.
I know more than you.
All right.
Thanks, Ron. Frig off, dude. You don't even know me. Maybe I am looking for a boat anchor. Maybe it's literally the only gun I can afford to protect my family. If the guy who's supposed to be selling you the guns will ridicule you for buying it, just wait till you get to the range and the Glock fanboys get a hold of you. For as much as we want to grow the number of firearms enthusiasts, we sure can be good at eating our own sometimes. Another problem is that cheap guns are a gateway drug. Generally speaking, the Tundra crew doesn't really half-ass anything? What? We half-ass things all the time. Whatever. What else did he write in here? And going balls to the wall happens a little too regularly. When you only buy cheap guns and you see dudes with the latest CZ or H&K at the range, you do get jealous and start selling your wife's heirlooms and pawning that DVD collection that you built during college to be part of the cool kids club. Maybe that was a little too specific. Anyways, the bottom line is that buying a cheap gun means that in the end, you'll more than likely end up spending more money because you will have bought a cheap gun and then a better gun, instead of just starting off with the better gun. That is solid firearms consumer advice from Tundra Tactical. Now, I'm not saying that all cheap guns are inherently bad, because there are multiple cases where they're absolutely not bad at all. Canik makes great pistols with high quality finishes, excellent factory triggers, and outstanding reliability. You can often find them on sale for less than $300. Another example would be in shotguns. New England Firearms makes the Pardner Pump, a shotgun that is so similar to the 870 that when H&R originally started selling the Pardner Pump, Remington was able to sue them for patent theft. The main difference between these two shotguns lies in the fit and finish, but reliability and function remain the same. For a gun originally designed for hunting, this may actually be desirable because a hunting gun is going to see some really consistent wear and tear, so a parkerized barrel in action might be more desirable than bluing when you look at the cost-benefit analysis. But this is still a big problem, because while I said that last sentence, you were thinking in your head that bluing is always better than parkerized, and I must be an idiot. Well, I guess you're not wrong on the idiot thing, and maybe the bluing and parkerized thing, but somebody will always have something to say about your budget gun, and it will often be meant to make you feel inferior, because Glock must be better than Canik since you paid $200 more for your used Gen 3 17. Now, if you think that we're condoning the purchase of cheap guns, please direct your attention to the following anecdote. About 3 years ago, Eric thought it would be a great idea to use the bonus he got from work to try out muzzleloading to extend his deer hunting season. Since he wasn't sure if he'd like it because there are very few mil-spec muzzleloaders available on the market, he bought one of the cheapest models that could be found, but still had some average reviews online. The CVA Wolf that he bought shot straight and performed exactly as advertised, but there was one glaring problem. The sights, kind of an important part, were made out of the cheapest aluminum conceivable and could not be adjusted without totally stripping out the screw. And the top sight on the gun couldn't even be adjusted enough to 0. Interesting. With that being said, a quick Facebook message to CVA resulted in an extremely prompt shipment of a replacement sight with a different front sight post to alleviate the zeroing issue, and there was nothing but respect left for the folks at CVA. Eric bought probably the cheapest gun that a company made, and go figure, it didn't come with the highest end accoutrements available. Had he purchased a gun for a higher price point, he likely wouldn't have had the same issue. In the end, he put a scope on it, and all the issues with the sights ended up not mattering anyway. Outstanding story. There's one more point that we would like to make against buying cheap guns. Many of us have nostalgia, and we hope that we keep our prized firearms for decades before passing them on to our children, and maybe even grandchildren. The thing about passing down a beautiful Ithaca shotgun or a lever-action Winchester with perfect checkering in the stock is that it will be considered something prized by your descendants, and they'll feel truly loved when they receive them. Now, if you pass down a rusty break-action shotgun from some unknown manufacturer in Brazil, your descendants will assume that you were a cheap drunk asshole who couldn't afford anything nice and probably decide to bury you outside of the back of the local 7-Eleven. Now, before you hate on us too much in the comments, keep in mind we are humongous hypocrites and own our fair share of cheap pieces of trash. So thanks for watching, guys. If you dislike this video, then you probably just bought a high point. Shame on you. If you liked the video, make sure to smash that thumbs up button and share it around with your friends. Consider subscribing to the channel and checking out our Patreon page to stay up to date on current and future content. And if you haven't done so already, check the link in the description below to pick up one of these sweet Tundra Tactical t-shirts. Thanks for watching, guys, and you can now find us on Instagram at Tundra Tactical MN.